لشراء الكتاب مع القرص أو USB فلاش درايف يمكنك زيارة موقع amirusa.com AMEERUSA.com. Have you ever claimed to be a US citizen in writing or any other way? What does claimed mean? To pretend. To pretend. Why? I am not citizen. Have you ever registered to vote in any federal, state or local election in the United States? No. Why? I am not citizen. Have you ever voted in any federal, state or local election in the United States? No. Why? I am not citizen. What does vote mean? To elect. A. Do you now have or did you ever have a hereditary title or any order of nobility in any foreign country? No. What is title of nobility? What is an order of nobility? Like to be a king or prince, sir. Have you ever been declared legally incompetent or being confined to a mental institution? No. What is legally incompetent? Sick in the mind. What is mental institution? A hospital for people sick in the mind. Do you owe any overdue federal, state, or local taxes? No. What does owe mean? Owe means not paid yet. Have you ever not filed a federal, state, or local tax return since you became a lawful permanent resident? No. What does filed mean? To store information. What does a lawful permanent resident mean? A green card holder. Have you called yourself a non-US resident on a federal, state, or local tax return since you became a lawful permanent resident? No. Why? Why you did not call yourself a non-US resident? I am a green card holder. A. Have you ever been a member of, involved in, or in any way associated with an organization, association, fund, foundation, party, club, society, or similar group in the United States or in any other location in the world? No. What does organization mean? What does association mean? A group of people have same goal. Have you ever been a member of or in any way associated either directly or indirectly with A. the Communist Party, B. any other totalitarian party, C. a terrorist organization? No. Why? They are bad people. What is Communist Party? Can you give me an example? The Communist Party of China. What is terrorist organization? Can you give me an example? Like ISIS. What is totalitarian party? Like Nazi regime. Have you ever advocated, either directly or indirectly, the overthrow of any government by force or violence? No. What is overthrow? To remove a government. Have you ever persecuted, either directly or indirectly, any person because of race, religion, national origin, membership in a particular social group, or political opinion? No. What does persecuted mean? Ill treatment. Between March 23, 1933 and May 8, 1945, did you work for or associate in any way, either directly or indirectly, with A. the Nazi government of Germany, B. any government in any area occupied by, allied with, or established with the help of the Nazi government of Germany, C. any German, Nazi, or SS military unit, paramilitary unit, self-defense unit, vigilante unit, citizen unit, police unit, government agency or office, extermination camp, concentration camp, prisoner of war camp, prison, labor camp, or transit camp? No. Why? Because they are bad people. What is Nazi government? Hitler. Were you ever involved in any way with any of the following? A. genocide, B. torture, C. killing or trying to kill someone, D. badly hurting or trying to hurt a person on purpose, E. forcing or trying to force someone to have any kind of sexual contact or relations, F. not letting someone practice his or her religion. No. If the officer asks about any of the following meanings, the answer will be bad act to hurt people. Were you ever a member of, or did you ever serve in, help, or otherwise participate in any of the following groups? A. military unit, B. paramilitary unit, C. police unit, D. self-defense unit, E. vigilante unit, F. rebel group, G. guerrilla group, H. militia, I. insurgent organization. For most of people, the answer will be no. But if the officer asks about any of the meanings of the previous words, the answer will be illegal group. Illegal group, except military unit, police unit, self-defense unit, the answer will be different. Were you ever a worker, volunteer, or soldier, or did you otherwise ever serve in any of the following? A. prison or jail, B. prison camp, detention facility, labor camp, E. any other place where people were forced to stay. For most of people, the answer will be no. But if the officer asks about any of the meanings of the previous words, the answer will be a place for bad people. Were you ever a part of any group, or did you ever help any group, unit, or organization that used a weapon against any person or threatened to do so? No. What does threaten mean? To cause a damage. What does weapon mean? A thing was made to cause damage. Did you ever sell, give, or provide weapons to any person or help another person sell, give, or provide weapons to any person?
the answer will be no.
Did you ever receive any type of military, paramilitary, or weapons training?
For most of people, the answer will be no.
Did you ever recruit, ask, enlist, sign up, conscript, require, or use any person under 15 years of age to serve in or help an armed force or group?
For most of people, the answer will be no.
What does recruit mean? What does enlist mean? To join an army. Did you ever use any person under 15 years of age to do anything that helped or supported people in combat? No. What does combat mean? Combat means fighting between armed forces. Have you ever committed, assisted in committing, or attempt to commit a crime or offense for which you were not arrested? What does crime mean? What does offense mean? Like kill or steal. Have you ever been arrested, cited, or detained by any law enforcement officer, including any immigration official or any official of the U.S. Armed Forces for any reason? No. What does cited mean? What does arrested mean? What does detained mean? Seize someone by legal authority. Have you ever been charged with committing, attempting to commit, or assisting in committing a crime or offense? No.
What does charged mean?
Charged, accused.
What does crime mean?
Like kill or steal. Have you ever been convicted of a crime or offense? What does convicted mean? Declared guilty. Have you ever been placed in an alternative sentencing or rehabilitative program? For example, diversion, deferred prosecution, withheld adjudication, deferred adjudication. One meaning for all the words: postpone, a trial, rehabilitative, rehabilitation, restoring someone to normal life. Have you ever received a suspended sentence, been placed on probation, or been paroled? No. One meaning for all the words: the release of an offender. Have you ever been in jail or prison? No. What does jail mean? What does prison mean? A place for bad people. Have you ever A. been a habitual drunkard? What does habitual drunkard mean? Alcoholic. B. Have you ever been a prostitute or procured anyone for prostitution? What does prostitute mean? What does prostitution mean? Sex for money. C. Have you ever sold or smuggled controlled substances, illegal drugs, or narcotics? One meaning for all the words: a drug, to change the mood. D. Have you ever been married to more than one person at the same time? No. What does married mean? To have a partner. E. Have you ever married someone in order to obtain An immigration benefit. What does immigration mean? To become a citizen of another country. F. Have you ever helped anyone to enter or try to enter the United States illegally? No. What does illegally mean? Unlawful. G. Have you ever gambled illegally or received income from illegal gambling? No. What does gamble mean? Play games of chance for money. H. Have you ever failed to support your dependents or to pay alimony? What does dependent mean? A person who relies on another. What does alimony mean? A payment to spouse after divorce. I. Have you ever made any misrepresentation to obtain any public benefit in the United States? What does misrepresentation mean? To change the facts. Have you ever given any U.S. government officials any information or documentation that was false, fraudulent, or misleading? One meaning for all the words. Wrong info to gain benefits. Have you ever lied to any U.S. government officials to gain entry or admission into the United States or to gain immigration benefits while in the United States? No. What does lie mean? To not say the truth. Have you ever been removed, excluded, or deported from the United States? What does removed mean? What does excluded mean? What does deported mean? Expel a foreigner from a country. Have you ever been ordered removed, excluded, or deported from the United States? No. Have you ever been placed in removal, exclusion, rescission, or deportation proceedings? What does exclusion mean? What does deportation mean? Expel a foreigner from a country. Are removal, exclusion, rescission, or deportation proceedings, including administratively closed proceedings, currently pending against you? No. Have you ever served in the U.S. Armed Forces? What does armed forces mean? Like military. A. Are you currently a member of the U.S. Armed Forces? No. Have you ever been court-martialed, administratively separated, or disciplined, or have you received an other than honorable charge while in the U.S. Armed Forces? What does court-martialed mean? Military court. Have you ever been discharged from training or service in the U.S. Armed Forces because you were an alien? What does discharged mean? Tell someone to leave. Have you ever left the United States to avoid being drafted in the U.S. Armed Forces? What does drafted mean? To be a soldier. Have you ever applied for any kind of exemption from military service in the U.S. Armed Forces? What does exemption mean? Being free from an obligation. Have you ever deserted from the U.S. Armed Forces? No. What does deserted mean? To run away from something. A. Are you a male who lived in the United States at any time between your 18th and 26th birthdays? B.
If you answered yes, then you have to write your selective service number and the date you registered. C. If you answered yes, but you did not register, then if you are under 26 years old, you have to register before you apply for a citizenship test. Then if you are 26 and older until 31 years of age, then you have to explain why you did not register when you were less than 26. You have to explain that.
What does selective service mean? Service in the armed forces under conscription. Do you support the Constitution and form of government of the United States? Yes. What does Constitution mean? The Constitution is the supreme law of the land. Do you understand the full oath of allegiance to the United States? Yes. What does oath of allegiance mean? To be loyal to the United States. What is an oath? A promise to tell the truth. Are you willing to take the full oath of allegiance to the United States? Yes. If the law requires it. Are you willing to bear arms on behalf of the United States? Yes. What does bear arms mean? Carry guns against an enemy. If the law requires it, are you willing to perform non-combatant services in the U.S. Armed Forces? Yes. What does non-combatant services mean? Duties that does not include fighting in the army. If the law requires it, are you willing to perform work of national importance under civilian direction? Yes. Can you give me an example of national importance work, like helping the police to find people?
إخواني وأخواتي الأعزاء، يمكنكم شراء كتاب الجنسية الأمريكية مع أمير علي والقرص أو الفلاش عن طريق تطبيق كاش آب. يمكنكم تحميل التطبيق من الرابط الموجود في الوصف والتعليق المثبت، وسوف يعطيك التطبيق $5 كهدية عند التسجيل بالرابط الخاص بقناتنا. ويمكنك أيضا الشراء عن طريق استخدام رقم الهاتف. يمكنك استخدام كاش آب في أي مكان في أمريكا للدفع من دون الحاجة لحمل محفظتك في كل مكان تذهب إليه، أو أيضا يمكنك استخدام التطبيق بدون الحاجة إلى استخدام الكارت.
لشراء الكتاب مع القرص أو USB فلاش درايف يمكنك زيارة موقع amirusa.com. AMEERUSA.com.